Yeah. So we are writing a script to validate IP address. So IP address with the basic IP address will be like this. So it will have four octets. So like 1.2.3.4, or it can be 25.2.4.20. So each octet, the range which will start from 0 to 255. So this is 0.0.0.02 255.255.255. This is the maximum IP address and this is the least IP address. So from this to this, the IP address may vary. Okay. So for this we have to write a regular expression to match IP address. So we have to find out so whether the particular IP is valid or not. Okay. So first, so we'll write a pattern. So this will be like we consider that the first octet, this is a digit and this is a digit and this is a digit and this is also digit. So first the basic regular expression will be like this: slash d dot. So right, slash d slash d matches only for digit. Okay, so we are matching digit dot digits, like four digits we have to give. Okay, and after that IP we have to specify this thing. Okay, so I just commented this so that I will remove this. Yeah. So slash d dot. So if you say slash d dot, what it will match? So this will match your digit, and dot is having a special meaning in the pattern. So this is a special character. So what is the meaning of dot? So which will match uh, any character except new line. So let's say this will match if instead of 225, if you give t or if you give x also, this will match. But what do we want? We want to match with a dot. So exactly dot it should match. So here the dot should not have the special meaning, so that will be a normal dot character. So dot is a character. So for that, so we have, what we have to do, we have to escape the special characters. For escaping the special character, we have to escape like this: slash. So whatever you want to escape, like if you want to escape slash d, so before that you have to put one slash. If you want to escape dot, you have to put one slash. Like if you want to escape this bracket, so whatever you want to escape, if it is a special character, then before that you have to put a slash. Then what this will do? So this will consider, this will match only for dot. The dot is a character, so dot only it will match. So here uh, slash d, that means any digit. So like 25 is a digit, so it will match, and dot it will match. So again slash d 2 it will match, and for this dot also we have to escape. Okay, so digit dot digit, so this will match this particular pattern, particular string. Okay, so if it matches, print valid IP address, else not valid IP address. Column here. See, it is throwing not valid IP address. That means whatever we give the pattern is not matching the IP address. Why? Because so we have specified here only one digit. Okay, but here it is having two digits. So if you give only one digit IP address, this will match. See, valid IP address matched. Okay, so if you want to give multiple digits, so you can give the range, so it can be like 1 digit to 3 digits, right? So you can give the range, you can give the range like 1 comma 3. Okay, 1 comma 3. So if you specify like that, the digit can be 1 or 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 to 3 it can be. So now if you give 25 or something, see, it matched. Okay, so if you give some 256, you can specify here, it matched. Okay, but still we have some limitation. So if you specify 256 or more than 255 also, it will match because we didn't mention the range. So it can be any digit, 0 to 9, any digit. So like 000 it will match, and 1 1 some 1 2 3 something like that. So any combination from 1 digit 3 digits it will match. So but the valid IP address should be the every each octet should be the in the range of 0 to 255. So this is a, it has to show invalid IP address, I mean not valid IP address. But whatever we have written that regular expression, it is matching the IP address. So this is wrong. So we have to change the pattern. So what we have to change? So it should be exactly 0 to 255. It should match. Okay. Now I'm just writing for 1 octet. So after that we can write for 4 octets. Okay. So we'll remove this. Okay. 1 octet. So first it can be 0. Okay, 0, uh, sorry, it can be 0 to 9. If it is single digit, it can be 0 to 9. We can specify like this. Okay, if it is a single digit, it can be 0 to 9. Okay, or if it is a 2 digits, you can say on bracket here, or if it is a 2 digits, like 0 to 9, 1 digit, and 0 to 9. See, you can say that this is A or this is B. Okay, the pattern I am separating out. Okay, so the first one it will match only for 0 to 9, one digit, and the second, or if it is having 2 digits like 0 0, sorry, if, it can be like 10. I think we can specify like this. So 0 0 is not valid, so we have to specify 1. Okay, so this will match up to 10 to 99. Okay, if it is a, you can take 1 to 9, 1 2 3 4 5 6 up to 9, any one character it will take. And here 0 to 9, any one character it will take. If it takes 1 from here and it takes 0 from here, 10 from 10 it will match, and 1 up to 9 19. And here if it takes 2 up to here 19. So like that, here it can take 9 is the max, and here it can take the 9, so 99. So 10 to 99 it will match. Okay. Mm, now, or if it is a 3 digit, 1 to 9, and 0 to 9, and 0 to 9. Okay, if it is a 3 digit, like similarly like this, so it will match 100 to 100 to 999. Okay, but our case the maximum should be 255. So we have to consider only 100 to 199. So I'll remove this, so I'll just keep only one. So this will match 100 to 199. So 100 here, 199 here, that's the maximum. You can put in brackets of this and R. Okay, so this will match from 0 to 199. Still we have 200 to 255. So for that, so 2 and 0 to 9 and 0 to 9. Okay, so this will match up to 200 to 299. But what we need, we have to match only 200 to 255. So here the second, I mean the second digit can be maximum is 5. Okay, and the third, okay, the second can be maximum 5 and third can be 255. So for this, so again, so if I say like this, so 259 is the invalid, and if I give 255 here, then 249 is the valid. So for that, what we have to give here, we have to specify 4, 0 to 4 and 0 to 9. So this will match up to 200 to 249. Okay, so now 249 up to 249 it will match. Next 250 to 255. So you can write this like this, 250 to 0 to 5. Okay, so this 250 to 255. So now if it is a single digit like 0 to 9, it will match, or if it is a two digits like 10 to 99, it will match here. If it is a three digits 100 to 199, this will take care. Or if it is a three digits but 240 to 249, 200 to 249, this will take. If it is a 250 to 255, it will take. Okay, so we have made exact regular expression for IP address. Okay, so this will match only from 0 to 255. So now we have to specify dot here, and we have to repeat the same up to 3 times. Okay, like if you say this entire regular expression is x, so like x dot uh, x dot x. Okay, so we have to make like this. So same thing we have to repeat 3 times, like x slash dot x slash dot x slash dot. Okay, just leave this x. Okay, so instead of writing 3 times, so what we have, we can make, so we can make these 1 to 3 times. Okay, like if you consider this x dot and x dot x dot, and after that x, so x is here, a whole expression you can copy up to this dot and paste here. Okay, so this will be like this will match up to 0 to 255, and dot, this can be 3 times, like x dot x dot x dot, and again this will match 255. So fourth octet. Okay, so we'll execute now. See, valid IP address. Why? Because so each object it will be like, sorry, it should show not valid IP. Okay, So it should show not valid because we gave 256 here. Then somewhere we are missing. Yeah, the mistake is here. So we said we added like this one, two, three. So it can be like one or two times or three times. So it is matching one time, and here up to this it is matching, and it's not matching the rest. So the octet should be, it can be like four octets. So strictly we should say it should be like three times. Okay. So x dot three times x dot and x dot and x dot and last x. Okay. See, it's matching. Now I'll give the previous one. So previously we have, this is the IP address. So it should say 256 is invalid. So it has to say not valid IP address. So not valid IP address. And you can try any combination now. So I'll give here 255 and I'll specify 4. Is this valid IP address? Yes, it is a valid IP address because each octet within the range of 0 to 255. Yes, it's a valid. So now I'll make here 400. So again it's not valid, not valid IP address. So you can say some, this is a valid, I'll give like this. So it's a valid IP address, valid. So if I give 257 here, it's not valid. See, it is a, sorry, no, valid IP address. Somewhere it's wrong again. So yeah, So the reason why it is showing valid IP address is, so it is matching up to here 0 to 9, so here 2, so it is matching up to here. So that is the reason it is, so it is throwing it is saying valid IP address. Okay, so for this what we have to do, it should match from starting to ending. So you can specify like dollar. Okay, so whatever you have written the regular expression, so the string has to start and end with the regular expression. So now this will consider the whole, from starting to ending it will match. See, not valid IP address. Okay, now like this you can try a number of combinations. Valid IP address. Okay, so if I say 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0, valid IP address. 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 255. It's a valid. So if we give more octets, like if I give 20, okay, this should show not valid. See, not valid. Why? Because we are just validating only 4 octets, and it should starting and it should end. Okay, so the word should contain only 4 octets. So like this we can write a regular expression for IP address. So are you clear with this? Avishusha, do you have any doubt on this? Okay, so do you want me to repeat once again? Sure. Okay, see, I'll explain you to match only a digit, so that can be range of 0 to 255. Okay, 0 to 255. So if I give 0 it should say valid, if I give 10 it should say valid, up to 255. If I give 256 it should not say valid. Okay, so So here what I'm doing, I'm just taking only one octet. If you just write a regular expression for one octet, so same way you can write for four octets. Okay. See, uh, so re dot match. So string we have to give x. Okay. So here we have to write a pattern. So if it is, if it is a single digit, you can specify slash d and match. If you say, it will match. Okay. So if you say slash d, it will match only 0 to 9, one character. So if you give, so I'm just defining here only. So if I give 10, still it will match. Why? Because so this will take only one character, this will match one, but we want to match a whole word. So for that, what we'll do, write start and end. So it should start with the digit and end with the digit, so only one digit. This is not matched because we are not getting any object. Okay. So for this, if you want to match with multiple digits like 0 to 255, so three characters, no, so you can specify like this. So 1 2 3, if I give, it will match. Okay. So we have one issue here. So if you give slash d 1 2 3, so one digit will match and two digit and three digits, but it can be like 0 to 9. So from 0 to 999 up to this combination it will match. But we have a limitation like 0 to 255. So this way it won't work. So remove this. So 0 to 255 we have to write a regular expression. So 0 to 255 we have to split with two parts like 0 to 255. So it can be like combination of, so 0 to 255, so it can be 0 and 1 and 2 3 up to 9. And so if it is a two digits like 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 20 and 29 40 30 40 49 59 up to 99. Okay. So that is a one way. So this is for one digit and this is for two digits. So if it is for three digits, the combination can be 100 and 101 and 103 4 something and 110 120 130 up to 199 and 200 and 201 and 240 and 249. So let's say 249 and 250 255. So 256 is not valid. Okay. So these are the valid. So we have split with four parts like 0 to 9 for single digit. So now we are writing a regular expression for single digit first. So if it is single digit 0 to 9 you can specify. So this 0 to 9. Okay. Yeah. So this will match up to 0 to 9. Okay. So this will match 0 to 9 this. So if it contains two digits, okay, so we have finished one part. So r, if it is not having single digit, if it's having two digits, okay, so this is one match r. So we have to specify one more match, so that will be like um, so which will start from 1, right? 1 1 1 1 2 9. So the here from this part to this part, if you take the first digit will be 1 to 9 1 2 3 4 5 9, and second digit will be 0 1 2 3 4 5 9. So if it is a 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 2 2 0 2 3 2 4 something like that. Okay. So first digit it has to start from 1 to 9. Okay. Second digit can be 0 to 9. So like if it is a 0 10, if it is a 9 99. Okay. So 0 to 9. So we have, okay, so we have completed up to here. Okay. Now 100 to 199. So again it is a three digit. So like uh, so r again r. So this can be like one pattern X or Y or Z. Okay, this can be Z. So here three digits blindly I will write like this: 0 to 9 and 0 to 9 and 0 to 9. Okay, so now this will match three digits, but here the first digit will be only 1. Okay, if you give 0 0 0, that's not a valid. So here the first digit can be only 1, so I added only 1. Okay, next the second digit can be 0 to 9, and third digit also 0 to 9. Okay, leave it. So we have done for this and second and third. Now we have 200 to 255. So for this again or, and so 200, so 2 will keep it, and 0 to 9 as second digit, and 0 to 9 at third digit. Okay, so if you said 200 200 200, it's a valid, and 201 here, so 255 it will take, but from here it can pick 9 also, so it can pick 9 also. 299, it's a not valid, so we should have only 255. So for this again we have classified with two parts. So up to 249 is one section, and 250 to 255 one more section. So for 249, so this will be like the second digit, if you take 0 2 0 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so we can specify 4 here, and the third can be anything: 0 to 9, 0 1 2 3 4 5 up to 9. So the third I am specifying as 9. So this will match up to 200 200, and 201 202 202 209, and here 21 210 211 212, something like that, up to 2 4 and 9 249. Okay, so we have this, and R. So we have two more, this last part, R 2 5 you can specify here, 2 5 and 0 to 5. Okay, so 2 5 is fixed, 250 251 252 253 254 255. Okay, so it is match. So if you specify 100, it match. If I specify 1000, doesn't match, because we have only three digits. So from one digit to three digits. And if I give 255, match. 256 does not match. Okay, so like this. So are you clear with this part for one octet? Okay, so now the same thing we have to match for 4 octets, the same. So this can be like can write dot. So since it is a special character, we are escaping, and dot, and again dot. Same thing. I'm repeating 4 times. Dot like this. Okay. So now I have to specify 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot. Some IP address I have to give. Why? Because 256. So here it's confusing. So I'll write here only. Again dot, again dot, and okay. So if I run now, somewhere else. valid IP address. So if you specify 258, okay, not valid IP address. So are you clear with this? Shuza, did you understand up to here? Okay. So now, so this way we can make, but see for looking wise this will be complex. Even same pattern we have 4 times. So instead of that, for simplification, what I did. So here the common things is this part and dot. So if you observe this, if you say the enter pattern is x, x dot will be like 3 times. So again x dot and again x dot and again x dot and x. Okay. So for this, for simplification, what I'm doing, so up to dot, I'm just making this as a one part and I'm putting 3 times. Okay. See, like I'm considering this whole thing as x. I'm putting that 3 times, like, and so like this will be like 3 times. So x dot x dot x dot and again x. Okay. So 4 rackets it will make. To summarize and to minimize, I have made like 3. Not valid. So if you give valid IP address, so let's say if I give 5 valid IP address. Okay. So that is how we can write a regular expression for IP address. So now this is a valid and perfect IP address. IP address regular expression. Okay. So are you clear now? Okay. Okay then. So that is about regular expressions. So then we'll move to the next topic. So next topic is MySQL database access. So will sorry, not only MySQL. So the database access using Python. Okay. So in Python, so how to interact with the database and how to get data from database. If you want to insert data to the database, if you want to create something, if you want to fetch something. So these operations, if you want to handle database, so we'll see how to do through Python. So before going to discuss this, so we have to understand the database concept. So you have to familiar with the database, so like how to create and how to use, how to create a table, how to create a, how to insert a data into the table, and how to fetch data. So these things you should get familiar before going to this topic. Okay, so we have few database like MySQL and PostgreSQL and MySQL Server 2000 2008 and Oracle and Interbase and M- MSQL and GradFi. So there will be lot of things. So other than this, so the mostly in Python will use MySQL and PostgreSQL. Okay, so I'll tell you so how to use MySQL connection. So mostly we'll use MySQL. So uh, today we'll discuss about MySQL. So how to create a database, how to create a database or data tables through a Python. Okay. Okay. So first we have to install MySQL in our system. So for that, so I already installed MySQL in my system. So if you want to install MySQL, you can just you can go to the MySQL website and you can download MySQL server and install. So if you are using Windows, you can download exe file. If you are using other than Windows, if you are using Ubuntu or Fedora or anything, you can download the respective operating systems supportable MySQL install file and install it. Or else, if you use Ubuntu, there will be a easy method. So if you use Ubuntu through apt-get command, you can install MySQL. So like this, apt-get install MySQL server. Okay, so this will install and this will ask the password and root user password and everything, and you can configure that. So after you install and configuration, you can log in like this. So MySQL -u root p, so it will ask the password. So the moment you enter password, so this will show like this. Okay, so Okay, so you have to specify MySQL username, root, and password. So the default user is root, and if you give the password, it will give like this. So here, so this is the command to show the database. So you can see here. So there will be database. So the information schema and MySQL and performances. So these four are default. So once installed, you will get these databases. So I just created training. So if you want to create database, so this is the syntax: create database name. So you can give like this. Okay. So database test. Okay. So to use a database, you can give use and database name. So database change. So now show table. So there is no table here, empty set. So if you want, you can create a table. So there is a syntax like create table, table name like empty give and id. So this is the MySQL create syntax. So table name and data type. So I just specified as int and name varchar. So this is the syntax. Okay, for varchar we have to specify the size, character size. So like this, if you show the tables now, so there is a one table. So if you want to see the data from the table, there is a command select star from table name. Okay, yeah, so there is no table here. Okay, so if you want to insert sorry, there is no data from this table. So if you want to see the description or how you created the table, you can give description and table name emp. Okay, so the table contains two fields, I mean two columns, and the type. Okay, and if you want to insert the data, so there is a command insert into table name emp. uh, so we can specify the column names like id comma name and values. You have to specify values. So id we specified as integer, so you can give integer id 10, and the name we specified as a character in the string. You can put in quote, single quote or double quote, and you can give the name. Okay, and close it. Okay, so you can see query okay, one row affected. So now if you see the data, select star, I mean you're fetching all data from the employee table. You can see, so id is 10 and name is Ramakrishna. Okay, so these are the basic operations database. So if you can take any database, so you can create a tables like this. So this is the basic syntax. So the syntax will vary from database to database, but the concept is same. Okay, so manually we'll do like this. Now these operations, what we are doing, what we did now, so those things we'll see how to interact from Python. Okay, so are you clear with this database part? So if you know earlier, that's fine. If you don't know, just read about MySQL database and MySQL statements and syntax, so that you will get a clear idea on this. Okay, fine. So let's move to the. Okay. So for MySQL DB interaction with from Python, we have a we have a specific module in Python. So that is MySQL DB. Okay. So this is a case sensitive. You should give capital M, small y, and S is capital, Q is capital, L is capital, and DB is small. Okay. So, uh, so till now, if you see, we used RE module. So import RE we specified for regular expressions, and we are using import MySQL DB. Okay. So this is if you try first time, if you import RE, that won't throw any error. But if you import MySQL DB as a first time, it will throw an error. So that is like it will throw an error like this. So import error, no module named MySQL DB. So I already installed MySQL DB. So since that it's not throwing any error. But if I try some other module, so I tried MySQL DB something, so it will throw no module named MySQL DB. Okay. Why? Because this MySQL DB is a external module, so you have to download that and install it. But if you see for re is internal, so that will come with Python. So for re module you don't need to worry about, you don't need to install it. Okay. That will come with Python. But MySQL DB it won't come with Python, so you have to install external. So for that, so we have a special package in Python, so that is pip. Okay. Python installer package. So using this pip command you can install any external module. So the syntax is python pip install, and you can specify the module and Python. So I want to install this my SQL hyphen Python. Okay. If I give this command, it will install MySQL Python module. So other than this, if you want anything, you can give the name module name. So this is one way. So if you try um, pip, if you try first time, so there won't be pip won't be there. It can show like pip command is not exists and something like that. So for that, first you have to install pip. Okay. So for that you have to download like this. You have to go to this URL and you have to download getpip.py. So there is one Python file. So after downloading that file, you have to execute it. Python getpip.py. Okay. You have to, if you install this, so this will download pip. Okay. And other way is if you use Ubuntu and all, you can give app to get install Python pip something. Okay. So that will install pip. Okay. So once you install pip, directly you can give like this pip install and the module name. Okay. So you have to download and install like this. So once you install MySQL DB, then we have to here in MySQL py. Okay. So import MySQL DB. The first statement should be MySQL DB module has to import. Next, so we have to make the connection DB MySQL DB dot connection of um, database host name or database server IP address. So let's say if you are running the database and MySQL server in the same machine, then you can give a local host or 127.0.0.1. So that is the IP address of the local machine. So if you are running in a different machine, it's a remote machine. So if you have a MySQL server in somewhere, then you can specify the IP address. Okay. So as of now, I'm just giving local 0.0.1 or localhost. You can specify anything. So this is the syntax. First host name, then database username. So root is the username, and password. So this is my password and database name. So here we have created database as test. Okay. You can give the database as test. Okay. So this is a database connection. We just connected the DB. So it can be connection, it cannot be connection, it will be connect. Okay, so if I run MySQL, see, it is throwing object MySQL connection open to a localhost at this particular memory location. Okay, so we just created a connection between Python to database. So now we have a connection. Next, so once you connect, you should say that the cursor has to add to the connector. So for that we have to give like this db.cursor. So that this object, this variable can be anything. So it can be like x, y, z. This is a plain variable name, you can give anything. So the cursor also you can specify anything. So I'm just giving db.cursor. Okay, so after that, so here if you want to execute something, cursor dot execute. Okay, so I just want to execute some uh, MySQL query this database. So you can give any query. So I want to execute this thing. Okay, select star from EMP. Okay, you can print result and uh, res dot, you can print dot. Okay, so we'll see if you print result. So the first one, it is printing the number. So uh, how many rows of result we are getting. So if we execute this command, so here we are getting only one row, I mean one result. So it is showing as a one. So next, so this fetch one will give will fetch one row. Okay, here is visualizing. So we have to execute from this cursor dot fetch one. So this fetch one will do, it will fetch one row of data. Okay, from here, I mean it will retrieve the one row data. Okay, like this, and that will print as a tuple. So first, so you can see here the first is 10 and second is, okay, 10. So since we are showing 10L, so this is an integer and a number that will show like this, so you can convert that to int, then it will be a 10. Okay, uh, so if you want to see how many methods with cursor, you can give like this, and that also like this. So apart from all these, so we have close method and fetch all and fetch one and row count and row number. Okay, so these are the mostly we'll use method. So these are the method we'll use mostly. Okay, so fetch one, it will fetch one row data, If you specify fetch all, so cursor dot fetch all. Okay, so uh, this will print all the lines, I mean all the rows. Okay, see the difference, fetch one and fetch all. Fetch one will fetch, I mean will retrieve the data of one row, and this will retrieve all. But if you execute any fetch before this fetch all, so that will retrieve the remaining part. So let's say I executed fetch one, that means this will fetch first row, so the fetch all will retrieve other rows. So there is only one row, so that is what it is returning an empty set. So now we'll just insert one more row, like id is 20 and the name. Okay, so if we execute now, so if you are executing this first time fetch all, then it will retrieve all lines. See, this is a one row and this is second row. But if you execute before fetch one, okay, so first it will fetch for one row, and the next the remaining rows it will retrieve. Then there is only one row, then it is retrieving that. Okay, so if you know that the result will be only one row, or if you want to retrieve only one row, then you can use fetch one. If you want to retrieve all rows and entire data, then you can use fetch all. Okay, so fetch all, so that is a different. uh, so I'll comment this. Okay, so here if you see, this is a one tuple, so tuple of tuples. Okay, so we can retrieve this, we can store as a data. So if you want to print like what is the id and name, if you want to print like this structure. Okay, so for I in data, okay, print I. Okay, like this, and again it's a I, again it is a tuple, so for j in I, and j. Okay, you can get it, id name and id name. Okay, or else uh, print id int of j of 0, first one, right? You can specify like this, j of 0, and print name j of 1. So j see id is 10, name is something, and id is 20, name is something. Okay, like this you can read it. Okay, so we just opened a connection, and if you want to close the connection, you can give cursor dot close. Okay, so this will close the connection. Okay, so we have few more things. So similarly, we created sorry we use a select statement here. So similarly you can use create statement also, like we created a table from here, the same command you can create a table from database. So let's see. Same like cursor dot execute, we have to give the MySQL statement. Okay, and let's see what you are trying here. We are just executing the command create table emp id integer and name back. So this is throwing an exception. We have an SQL error in your SQL syntax. Okay, so it is showing MySQL version for the right syntax to the near something. So this is a MySQL syntax error. So the error is here because the table is already exist. Okay, so if you want to handle exception, you can put this in try block. See exception form. Okay, the error is the table is already exist, so I'll use new table. See, there is no exception now, creating a table and the result is 0. Okay, so the row count is 0. And if you run one more time, exception found, the table emp1 already exists. Okay, so emp1 we created from the MySQL. You can verify here. So tables, see emp1 and the description you can see. Okay, which is expected or not, id we gave and name and int varchar. Okay, so that also you can verify. And again here you can retrieve the data from emp1, you can give and you can fetch the data and you can verify. Okay, so like this you can execute create and you can execute update table and you can insert the data also. So so you can insert the data here. Mm, insert the data. So cursor dot execute of same insert into emp1 and id comma name values of 10 comma. Okay, so this is the syntax, but here there will be multiple quotes, so we specified here is double quote and inside double quote. So either outside you can give single quote or inside you can give double quote. Okay, so like this. Okay, see, one row affected. Okay, so insert the data. So it says select star from emp1. Oh, okay, so yeah, there is one more thing here. So if you want to fetch something, only execute is enough. But if you want to insert some data to the database, then after execute you should commit. So commit is nothing but, so once you say execute, so this will store in the command will store. It won't override the database. It will just execute and leave it. So once you say commit, then this command it will override the database. Okay. So you have to say. Okay, we have to say db dot commit. Okay, so this will execute but it won't write to the database. So once you say commit, then so whatever you have changes here, those things it will overwrite to the database. Okay, so that is the reason you are not finding here. See now, if we see now, see there is a id 11 and name Rajesh. Okay, so that is use of commit. If you not commit, the changes will be there somewhere backup, but it won't overwrite to the database, so it will store in some cache memory. Okay, so there is a one thing actually, uh, so this is a commit. So similarly we have rollback also. If you want to roll back the changes, so you can use rollback. Okay, so like this. So once you say commit, that the changes will store into the DB. Once you say rollback, so the changes will, um, it will remove that whatever you make changes. So this will take the previous one. Okay, so normally we'll use an exception. So try and execute the query and commit. So if you have any exception, then roll back. So that means, so if you are in middle, so have created one table and you are trying to insert some data, that insertion is not happening properly, it's throwing some exception, then you are saying rollback. That means, so the previous, so you should not create the table also. Okay, previously how was the database, so you should get the same database. So that is the use of rollback. So you can roll back to the database. Okay, and finally, so here cursor close. So the cursor close is only for this, um, the if you want to execute or if you want to get the some data, that will only close. Still this DB connection will be there. Okay, so like, cursor close, let's say you have executed cursor here. So if you want to fetch one, okay, you can use this. But in middle, if you close the cursor dot close, that means this one will close, so you can't access this. Okay, so that is the use of cursor close. Now we have one more like db close, db dot cl close. Okay, so this will close the database connection. So we have to specify this variable dot close. Okay, this will close the connection, entire connection. Okay, so that is, mm, so so similarly, if you want to update something, you can update. So this is the syntax for update. So update table name, and you can set the value, column name and value, and where class. Okay, so you can update the table like this. And if you want to delete a row, you can delete from table name, where you can give condition. So whatever you want, whatever you so uh, so if you want to delete a table, so how you will do from here, mysql delete from emp1, where, so this is the syntax, where id equal to number. Okay, see, you removed all. So like the same you will execute in database. Okay, there is no difference. The thing is you have to specify in execute. Okay, like the same. And we have one thing here. So this fetch, so let's say you have retrieved the data select star from EMB, you can give any select query, and this will give fetch one will give the one row, and fetch all will give the all rows. And similarly we have uh, row count, so this will give the number of rows. Okay, so let's say, Okay, number of rows 2. So like that you can use. Yeah, so there is one more like last row id. So if you execute this, so this will return the last row id. So whatever you have inserted last, so that will return the last row id. Okay, so like this we can use. And so so this is the mysql part. So if you are doing any transactions, like if you are inserting data, or if you are creating a table, if you are doing anything, so there is so transactions are a mechanism that ensures data consistency. So they have some following properties. So those are like atomicity and consistency and isolation and durability. So these are MySQL part. So these are other than Python. So atomicity is nothing but the transaction can be completes or nothing can happen. So it should not be in middle. Either it should be success or it will be fail. I mean, it won't do anything. So next one is consistency. The transaction must start in a consistent state and leave the system in a consistent manner. I mean, it should be proper. The third one is isolation. The intermediate results of a transaction are not visible outside the current transaction. So let's say if you are doing in middle, if you are not commenting the changes into the database, so that will be in middle. So if you come out of the database, or if you close the database again, if you open, the changes won't be there. Okay, so that is the reason we are just committing. Next, durability. Once a transaction was committed, the effects are persistent even after a system failure. So let's say you have committed the transaction. So let's say we have inserted the data, and if you say commit, then the changes will be there even after system failure, or if you MySQL down and make up, then that should be there. That means the changes should be written to the database. Okay, so these are the properties while doing transaction will follow. Okay, so rollback we know, and the disconnector close we use database dot close. And here we have a few exceptions. So so here we have listed few things what will get while doing MySQL operation or database operation. So one thing is interface error, or database error, or data error, operation error. So these are the exceptions. Integrity error, so internal error, and programming error, subclass or database error that refers to error such as a bad table name. So if you give bad table name, this will show as a programming error. So if you see, we already find few exceptions. So uh, see here, see programming error. So this is the exception. And okay, so like that. So these are the different exceptions you can face in database connection. Okay, so are you clear with this part? Okay, so here I just gave few things. You can try your own way. Like you can create tables, you can insert the data, and you can retrieve the data, and you can update, and you can play with all my SQL queries. Okay,